So much the 3-month resub as we have in the top right corner of the map. Our blue Protoss player, it is going to be MaxPax. In the bottom left, our red Zerg. Give it up if you're cheering on Dark. Oh, you only listen Zerg units? Well, the question was, which Zerg unit would I like to be? Which I really didn't have much of an answer, to be completely honest with you. So, yeah. Great content today, guys. Great content. Probe on an adventure, obviously Probe doing probe things to start us off, as we have a couple of bits and pieces going on. Hatch Nexus all coming in, Cybercore coming through, Pool on the way up. And just going to be seeing our... Yeah, everything just kind of getting built at the moment as we have our Overlord hand up to the upper right-hand side. Nexus, Cybercore and stuff all coming through. It's a lot of setup for the moment. So Link Speed is going to start up from the side of Dark. I don't really know what to expect in this PvZ. Last few times I cast with MaxPax and Dark, it's kind of come out of kind of like, you know, a whole bundle of different things. We do see some kind of more... I mean, I guess sometimes you see the more aggressive kind of styles from MaxPax. He's going to open Twilight Council here. So that's a fun starting point, as obviously Glaives will be on the table. And outside of Glaives, you could also potentially go into the Templar Archives and or Dark Shrine even, and an Archon drop. But this looks as though 2 workers on each guess. And we're likely going to see Glaives here. The first Lings get in though, so Dark gets an immediate scout on the Twilight. That's amazing. You do have one Adept over here that's going to find a very easy first drone kill. Just gets the second, and uh-oh. His drones need to start becoming Spore Crawls because you can't really afford to lose much more than this. You got 3 drones, Adept still alive. Really good effort for the first Adept of the game. That is a very, very solid start, honestly. So, yeah, that's a really decent beginning. Well, nice start from MaxPax, countering the fact that those Lings got in to get some information. I mean, that was the only real downside that started this off. Let's have extra gates then, the Robo Facility all on the way up. MaxPax fully setting up into these Glaives as we kind of saw it was going to be with the couple of workers on each gas. 2 workers on each gas generally, again, does just point toward that Glaives. And we see the Queen's just building up from Dark because he will prep his defense against that. Getting ready to prep a defense. Coming through, the Prism is about to be finishing. We do have our Baneling Nest on the way, and Dark is going to go for the Ling Bane defense, which kind of a fun one. I feel like Ling Bane on the defense is very, I feel like very hit or miss. Like it's either explosive and it does very well, or boy are you in trouble. Usually the issue is that it's very difficult to actually kind of reinforce with additional Banes because the Adepts keep warping in, and then, you know, even if you deal with the first round of Adepts, you need another round of Banes already, and the Adepts just warping on the front lines, and that's when you can run into a lot of trouble. And we're going to actually go just straight through to the Dark Shrine on the side of MaxPax. Again, that Dark Shrine up and running. A few Adepts continue to warp in here and begin to press forward. Lings go wrap around, and, well, the Adepts can actually trade decently there, and they are shading straight into the natural, but that's where the Banelings are, lying in wait. And we do have a pretty good, all of a sudden, split out of MaxPax to try and undo the potential threat of those Banes, but all these Adepts splitting up means the Lings get to surround, and that is a defense from Dark. However, Dark is down 8 workers, so he's got work to do to get back in this game still. He is not, in the realm of clean sailing just yet. There's a few Adepts picking their way through this Queen. Going to grab a Creep Human now also. And just going to see the Lings and the Queens pushing that Prism out of here. Prism is going to get knocked out immediately, as that's going to be big. But the DTs get to warp in, and the Spore Crawlers aren't ready yet for Dark. So, yeah, I was going to say, like, initially I was like, well, maybe Dark still has some drone to do. Now he's going to have more than just some drone to do, because his third base is under some heavy fire. Masses of spores in the natural, so many that you probably can't get rid of all of them here as MaxPax. So, Dark going overkill to guarantee a chance to keep on playing this game without just straight up dying. Man, he was a moment away from canceling this warping and giving himself such a better chance. What a shame. It was so close. And that was the kind of thing that Dark actually needed here, right? To kind of get back in it a little bit. MaxPax is floating so much money, by the way, so that's one thing to watch. All said and done, 51 to 50 workers. I really felt like MaxPax was going to do even more in the third, but never really happened. Doesn't have a third base of his own yet, as he obviously invests into the Dark Shrine early. Has to kill off his own pylon to be able to move out from his natural. Observer through the center of the map, so just working our way through the middle here initially, and seeing our charge on the way, additional gateways all coming by. Archons, Zealots moving down to the bottom side. Getting set up here as a few Lings of Dark are going to go pressing around the top. It's going to immediately counterattack and hit this third base. This is his chance to keep this game in his favor, because if you don't let the third base go up, MaxPax will be in some trouble. Also, you do have to defend at the same time. That attack of MaxPax is looming. It's not that much though, right? Like a few Zealots, sorry. Prism dies immediately? Oh my god. 3 Archons and Immortals save the day! Tech units. No, not working, huh? How strange. I mean, they're gonna start running out. They might actually get out alive, which is kind of incredible in its own regard. Now, we're seeing a bit of a messy first game here from both players, really. Definitely not the cleanest of PvZs, but hey, sometimes the mess is quite fun. As Queen's Roaches and Lings pull back, just going to see the couple of DTs finishing up, and Archon morphing in. Roach speed and melee upgrades still producing enough. Few Lings jumping in to grab a few probes as well. First one attack will begin on our forge, so just get that started up, get that underway here. Obviously, a few Zealots are just going to start working down the bottom right-hand side. We've got our Oversteer going to head in toward the main base. Archons, a couple of Moles just going to come moving through, and just going to see our Roaches continue to take a big shot. An army coming straight on forward. A few drones beginning to go down, and just going to be seeing the rest of these Zealots coming through as well. Archons, Immortals continue to press on forward. Going to be seeing a lot of workers being killed. 14 drones being picked off right now. Archons and Immortals continuing to work their way through the hatchery, and an Archon will be picked off. It's a good amount of drones dead. Can Dark actually survive? His army supply is okay, but obviously it's pretty low-tech units, so it would seem like it's probably not going to be enough. And man, like I said, it's just such a messy game, and I think it's really fair to call it that because it's just being... It's just not being clean, you know? I wouldn't say MaxPax is necessarily played to the point where I expect him to just waltz across the map and kill Dark, but that's obviously because Dark was in quite a bit of a fluster earlier. Even though he defended the Adepts well, it was obviously a low drone count, and then the DTs really caused some chaos. Again, just multiple things adding up to be a bigger problem at the end of the day. Army moving through into the center of the map. So moving forward, our roaches will be pulling away. 3 overlords coming up, +1 flyer attack coming in on the spire as well. So all of that coming through. A +2 attack and parade coming in on the forge. Muta's immediately catching the prism. I mean, the fact that you've survived to see a Muta switch here from Dog does give you some hope again. His army was very basic up until now, so to be able to see actually a group of Mutalisks, I mean, that's got to put some pressure on MaxPax, who is not immediately set up to really deal with Mutas. Doesn't have Blink on the Stalkers, for example, so that's one thing you typically want to have at the very least. Also, without the Prism as well, it's a very one-dimensional attack from MaxPax, and no warping potential, has to warp in from back at home. First Disruptor Shot is decent, looking to recancel this base, as he's already had it picked away before. The few Stalkers without Blink are putting in some work, and we're actually just losing more drones than we're killing probes, as this DT is running around mineral lines and just picking off so many workers. I think Dark is in too much trouble here in game number 1. Really feels as though this is going to start becoming a MaxPax victory. I don't think this army can truly be stopped, and the Mutas just didn't do enough. I love the idea of the Mutas. Obviously, the Prism catch was nice, and that benefits you a lot, but also it told MaxPax to prepare against the Mutas a bit, so what could have been absolutely zero preparation was actually some preparation, and that might have made a little bit of a difference as well, honestly. Seven probes going down, just having this Roach Ravager force continue to split apart, go a couple different directions. Disruptor Shot lands just for a Zergling there. Coming all the way around this right side. Mutas are going to come diving in for a couple of probes as well. 10 probes going down so far. Disruptor fires, Roaches and Ravagers backing it up. And we just knock our way through one Muta, knocking our way through the other Mutas. And a few Lings that are going to head to the top side as well, aim for that 12 o'clock. See how Lings gonna go and continue to pick our way through this. Roach Ravager continues through. Small Corrosive Vials coming in as well. You know, Lings getting picked off. Boom, 2 Ravagers going down there. That's a nice catch as well. Disruptors continue to put work in. Hey, at least we got some extra probes going down in the end, but I don't think it's necessarily going to make much of the difference. I still look at this MaxPax army as just so good in comparison to the Roach Ravager Ling force that Dark is working with, getting disrupted every so often, and we just saw a bunch of Lings get AoE down by Archons as well, and that really is the tale of this game right now, is that none of Dark's units can really survive very long in this fight, and that's pretty much always going to be the problem. Is another Disruptor Shot lands solidly for a clump of Ravagers, and again, and I think Dark might have stopped to take out GG ahead of that one. That is going to be MaxPax taking game 1 of this best of 3 in the PvZ. And going up in the bottom right, it is going to be our blue Protoss. It is MaxPax from Sidestone Gaming. He is taking on the red Zerg in the top left corner of the map. Make some noise if you're cheering on Dark. Game number 2. Once again, we've got that early probe across the map here from MaxPax. That's just going to move across immediately, no waiting around when it comes to that. As that probe comes across, and it's just going to go in and patrol around a little bit. So a little bit of patrolling here. Actually going to go down on the natural. And a couple extra drones continuing out as well. So far, so good. Getting all set up. Now spawning pool will come down, so hatch gas and pool all coming in. As you can see, our Nexus and our Cybercore continuing up as well, so just bringing all of this through for the moment. And, yeah, peaceful few moments early on. Really just getting excited for our mid-game. See what kind of opening MaxPax does. Obviously, he really kind of dictated the start of that last game with the initial opening. But kind of expect something fairly similar here as well. Probe just continuing across, just going to continue to move around. You can see how link speed is coming up as well at the moment. Just bringing that across for the moment. Getting all set. And we got our Twilight Council on the way. So Twilight Council for a second game in a row here from MaxPax. Going to stick with the similar idea to before perhaps, or will he change it up and go for maybe the Dark Shrine immediately into that kind of Archon drop I mentioned as a possibility? There really are just, you know, a few different choices you can make right now. So choice is abundant. Twilight Council is about to finish on MaxPax's side. Let's have a look at the work account, shall we? And the gases. Yep, that's more than 2. That suggests this is actually going to be a Dark Shrine over that previously seen play of the Glaive. So, yeah, definitely expecting this to be a little bit of a different setup. Link speed still coming through. That'll be finishing in a few moments. And Overlord still just on the high ground here and there for the moment. Well, Creep Gym is coming out. Dark Shrine is going to be finishing very soon. And we'll see if Dark can be prepared against it this time around. Obviously, last time Glaives into Dark Shrine is, you know, it makes a lot of sense how you can get kind of a bit caught up and everything. Adept, Warp Gate, all of that coming through. The Dark Shrine is about halfway along here as well. Baneling Nest is going to begin. Still going to go for the Baneling kind of Ling Bane play once again. Obviously not against actual Glaives build this time, but against the DTs. See how this works for him. Main thing here is just getting some scouting up, right? Getting some information, being able to see what is happening. Extra Adepts gonna join the DTs here, so in we go. Well, spores on the way up. We have a spore quite far forward on this third base as well, so that should help quite a bit. Let's just see Adepts and our DTs pushed around that right-hand side. DTs gonna move forward, move into position. Again, just have a little peek to see if they can do anything. I mean, so far, good defense from Dark, though. So set up well, playing a good spot. Put himself in a good position for a while, and well, you can see it now. The DT is just going to swipe down and kill off that Spore Crawler, so Spore will fall. Well, that's actually going to create issues because the Lair still isn't done, so MaxPax now can get way more damage than he was maybe ever meant to here. Dark's preparation and initial defense was fine, but this is falling apart a bit. Now you don't actually have a Spore in this space. Oh my goodness, this is falling apart. 7, 8 drones. Prism gets away to the side. Obviously, drones just over-mining in locations. Adepts hit the third base. It is very rare to see Dark fall apart, but I think it's kind of happening right now. Is going to save a couple of the Adepts too, bringing the DTs over. Again, just solid play out of MaxPax. I mean, he is doing such a good job. It's actually sickening what he just was able to do, right? Very cool. Roach Ron's about halfway done. Extractors are still being built up. Drones being produced, and just seeing a couple of queens putting some damage out onto that prism. GT's going to get rid of a couple more Cryptiumers then, picking those off. Stalker's coming around. We will get a pylon over on the right as well. Roaches, roach speed, all coming in. And the Alcon is going to come around the left side. Obviously, one of the things MaxPax did in the last game was very good at capitalizing with follow-up attacks on the fact that Dark was maybe not in as good of a position as he wanted to be in, etc. So, going to try and maybe make the most of this right now as well. And Stalker's Archon begin to press on through. Couple of creep tumors already going down, and I mean, what does Dark have at the moment? Well, a massive supply block, 9 overlords on the way all at once. It's never a good sign. We're losing drones already as well, and MaxPax is he's just started a second Robo Bay, which was unnecessary, cancelled that. But yeah, he's just set up into a great position, and I mean, he's not even going to necessarily push in right now, but yeah, his setup really is just great already, so go MaxPax. I mean, he's just absolutely killing it here in this finals. Absolutely killing it is. A few Stalkers will run away. Ling Roach continues to chase for a little while. So Stalkers have to blink back. I'm just going to keep on moving through. We do have Roaches backing away. A few Ravagers. Getting morphed. We do have our Stalkers continue to trade out, and those units keep on going down at the moment. We're just going to take another bit of a blink back, though. Overseer taking a few shots as well. Roaches pick away at some of our Zealots. Our Zealots still sat beneath that prism. Queen's taking some shots again. Overlords, Roaches continue to come through. The +2 missile upgrade is already producing on the side of Darks. Again, that +2. Something to help, but I mean, if you can get the, if you can really make anything with it, there's so much tech coming in from MaxPax, same as last game. It's going to be a question of a low-tech versus a high-tech army, and Dark's army is the one that's on the low-tech. It's going to be Roach Ravager against, Disruptors, Temple Archives, some cheaper Archons here as well. MaxPax's already doing a good job of just continuing to trade. There's units in the main base, units in the natural. And while Dark comes around to clean all of this up, it's again just kind of keeping Dark on the focus of low-tech units while MaxPax builds up better and better things back at home. Archons will be finishing now. Roaches continuing around to the right. More vials, and Cannon the Cannon already taking damage. Our Roaches move through, dropping their way through that base. And nab one Stalker here already, and now just going to see the Disruptors moving up. As Disruptor shot fires in, see Roaches going down. Disruptor shots kind of flying everywhere. A couple more Roaches getting dropped as well. I mean, that's the problem. These Disruptors are going to find a lot of value. MaxPax bringing everything else over. Another Disruptor shot. We are losing probes at least, so some damage is being done. Dark is making some amount of progress. As the extra units show up, I was going to say, I'd imagine they're going to do very well. However, the wall off, a couple of gateways kind of slowed down the Protoss units from being able to show up to help, so not exactly ideal as our Roaches run down the right side, and no, they do cancel the Zealots, but they didn't cancel the Stalkers. We'll just warp in even more. Mike's like, okay then, fine, I'll make another bigger warp in. I'll do it better this time. MaxPax again, just ready to be aggressive at moments. Notice those Roaches, goddamn, thank goodness they had creep spread, because if they didn't have creep, they were dead and gone. Holy crap, that was about to be painful as Well, Stalkers and Archons keep on moving through. Zealots are going to charge onto this base as well, and this really is just turning into more and more of a disaster here. The Roaches and our Queens continue to push around. We will see our Stalkers picking their way through the Evo Chamber, the Roaches and Ravagers clearing out Zealots and pushing those back away to the right side. Couple more Archons still coming up, by the way, as MaxPax takes the supply lead in this game too now. Looking with the 30 worker lead, like, he's got control of this game. The only thing he can't allow to happen is for Dog to just overwhelm and swarm in with one big attack, but it's obviously really not looking as though it should happen here. So, Prism loads up, away we go. Moving towards the main, where we're just gonna go hide away a little bit. And guess what, guys? Another round of Archons! Straight up through the center. And in they go. Bang bang on a couple of these disruptors. Continue to move through here. Another disruptor shot is going to land nicely. And this really does seem as though it's just going to be too much. MaxPax takes it down 2-0, wins the best of 3. Looked very good today, did Max.